Hello, happy hump day, everyone. It's your girl Adina with the 11th edition from the second season of the Liberated Pussy podcast. There's my girl. Yeah, Ruffin and I, the Moon Mama, we have this beautiful offering for you. There you are. Oh, look at your earrings. They're so cute.
Oh, thank you.
Are you wearing blue also?
I am. I'm wearing blue.
Look at us. Y'all see?
Yes,
Our colors are linking up
that's
again.
right. I have on devotee blue because and the
mm.
turquoise. The turquoise is devotee. You got devotee blue on too.
I do. I do. You see me?
Mm-hmm.
hmm
Yes, yes, yes.
Y'all, we didn't even coordinate our colors
We
today, and,
we
and we just coordinated. It's so
yes,
divine.
it is.
It
Yes, it is.
is so divine.
I
All
appreciate
right.
that.
So,
I'm drinking my rosemary tea, just so you know.
okay, I have mine too. I mixed mine with some other teas, and I got this special water bottle. It's a little cloudy now because this is from yesterday, but look at my fancy bottle with the rose quartz at the bottom.
Oh, that's cute.
Uh, I have some blue butterfly PT
Mm-hmm.
with the rosemary today. So that's why it's blue.
Huh.
But yeah, let's get into our greetings and then move right along. So, everyone, I am your girl, Adina, Getting Smith, the goddess of magical movement. Yes, 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 yes. So I love to dance. I love to move my body. I love to understand the world through the physicality of it all. There's magic in the body. There's knowledge in the body. There's pain in the body. There's so much in the body. And so I work with the body as a medium to heal and to feel joyful. I'm the co-founder of Belly Dancers of Color Collective with my sister Layla. And I'm also the founder of Goddess Technology that I get to facilitate here at Follow the Sun with my goddess darling, the Moon Mama. We have an offering called Goddess Gathering every Thursday where we meet with women from all over the world and we walk ourselves home. We're walking ourselves home first
Yes.
and walking ourselves home with our sisters, because as you initiate others, you initiate yourselves. And that's all it is. It's just concentric levels of initiations. And that's what we've been doing really for the last 30 years. It's waking the fuck up. Wake
Yeah.
up, wake up, wake up. Remember that in school days at the end when he was just
Yeah.
yelling, wake up? And I'm
Yeah.
like, why he yelling? What he yelling about? I get it
Now
now.
you get
Wake
it.
up.
That's
I
right.
totally get it. Wake up, y'all. It's a dream.
Mm-hmm.
But the deal is you can't yell people awake. They're going to wake up when it's time. So all you need to do is do your work. That's all you need to do. And so that's what we're doing.
Yeah,
And that's who I am.
that's
Welcome.
right.
Love you.
Yay, Adina.
Yay.
Um, I am the Moon Mama, also Monique Ruffin, is my birth given name, my daddy's name, and the name my mama gave me. I am I'm on a soul's journey. I came here. I'm an alien from another planet. I came here to
Ashe.
free you motherfuckers.
Ashe. Thank you. What's
I
the greeting
came
on your
here.
planet? Nano,
I,
nano, gork, or whatever.
I came here to help you motherfuckers get free. That's what I
Okay.
came here for.
Okay.
Um, I mean, if it's one thing that I know, I have always known what I know now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't know how to communicate it,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know that there were other people that were tapped
Of your
in.
kind.
That's
Yeah.
right, exactly. And now I know that there are. The tools that I use to support myself and others in freedom is cosmology, astrology, um, Reiki, all manner of magical tools that help people, women especially, remember who they are. Herbs, crystals, just so much. Plants, just being connected to the environment that the things in the environment that help us heal, that help us remember,
Mm-hmm.
that help us wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I am I am an obstructionist.
Mm-hmm.
I am a rebel at the core.
Mm-hmm.
At my core,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a rebel. Um, and I'm an anarchist. I'm
Mm.
an anarchist, And so I'm just being who I'm here to be, and in the process of that, I am supporting others and being who they are here to be. And I with Adina. We do Goddess Gathering together at Follow the Sun. I also do 13 Moons with Gabrielle Zelina. And all the things I do are towards freedom.
Mhm.
Everything is about freedom. So that's who I am, and that's what I do. Thank you.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Welcome. Welcome to your podcast, Goddess.
Thank you, Adina.
Welcome to the Sacred 11. This is the 11th edition of our second season.
Yeah,
So,
I love you be
yeah,
counting. That's good.
girl, I be counting. I be doing math and shit. So, give us, we are still in this full moon energy. That full moon was so magical last night. I was literally howling with the dogs at the moon last night. Like the dogs were woo, 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 and I was woo, 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 right with them.
Nice.
It was magical. It was so magical. So give us our astrological update with the Scorpio full moon and what that means. I know you have been waiting for this energy to come through for a moment. What does it mean to
I
you
have
that it's here?
really been waiting. And just as you said that, my ear started to ring
Mm,
just in that moment. Um, so thank you, Spirit. So the Scorpio energy is about transformation. And it's also transformation, it's ancestral
mm,
power. It's
mm,
our magic. It
mhm,
is our power. It's our ability to alchemize um, dimensions and realities into new frequencies.
mhm,
And with this Scorpio full moon coming in with the moon in a square with Pluto, the ruler of this energy, it literally is like breaking off an old part of our consciousness, just breaking it off, just burning it away and pushing us into a new way of being. And that is
mhm,
what we're up to. Now, the question is, how are you moving that in a practical way? What are you doing inside of yourself that will allow you to break free from your old way of being and move into another way of functioning? What are the
mhm,
practical steps that you are taking? And that's unique for everyone. That's different for everyone. And so, um, just remember that in this time, we are being asked to have courage. We're being
mhm,
asked um, to be pioneers, to like push yourself out of your comfort zone so that you really can access a new frequency. And and then we just came out of that Jupiter. We're still really in it. The Jupiter Uranus conjunction in Taurus, which in my perspective was like make a wish energy. But it's important for people to understand with astrology that astrology is a build. It's not a like you have to build the container that allows you to hold a new way of being, right? So, for instance, people that come into a whole lot of money really fast because they don't have the container, they just run through the money. So you have to build the container to hold the energy for what it is you desire. So in this make-a-wish energetic, what you do is you might wish for something that you might not be ready for yet, but because you desire it, your wish for it is beginning the preparation to get you ready for it, right? So you might wish for something that you wouldn't really be ready for a whole decade, but the wish ignites the process of you getting prepared to be able to contain the thing that you wish for. And that's what the astrology is now. It's
wow.
literally asking you to let go of your old way of being, to begin to perceive a new reality, and don't say, "Oh, I'm not ready," or "How will that happen?" Just know that you'll take the next step that'll get you closer to it when it's appropriate. And you have to begin to listen from within yourself. You have to begin to to engage the spirit realm so that you can get from where you are to where you are meant to be.
Oh,
All right.
that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
That is so beautiful. I love how you said engage the spirit realm. I know oftentimes when spirit is speaking to us so subtly, we're thinking that, oh, I made that up.
Mm-hmm.
But how arrogant of us to think that we made it up when spirit is actually talking to us. You know,
Yes.
spirit is
Yes.
talking to us in the way that it knows how to,
Hmm.
but you assume you made it up. Like, what's informing you to think that? I feel like that's a very arrogant way to look at some spirit things, is to think, oh, that's nothing, I'm just making it up. It's like, no, there are all kind of entities and spirits and things that you don't really even have a cognitive understanding of what's happening here. At least be open to
Yeah.
what's possible.
Yes.
Be open to what's possible.
That's really beautiful, Adina, because we're profoundly conditioned. Our perceptions are conditioned, right? And what is
Hmm.
perception? Perception is the story you tell about reality,
Hmm.
the story you're telling about your experience, right? And so our perceptions have been hijacked
Yes.
by um, by the 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 things that we've agreed upon. Our perceptions have been
Hmm.
hijacked by education. Our
Hmm.
perceptions have been hijacked by, you know, how we how we how we work with the days of the
Hmm.
week and the months and the
Hmm.
seasons. Like we have told stories about this reality that make us small, that make us
Hmm.
powerless. Um, and because of that, we experience it that way.
Right.
You know?
Right. Which ties perfectly into what we wanted to talk about today. I know when I posed this subject, you were triggered by it, and I love it. I love when we get triggered by stuff because it's like, well, let's go in that direction.
Yeah.
Like when we named the podcast the Liberated Pussy Podcast, I was triggered by that.
Hmm.
But after 2 seasons of saying Liberated Pussy Podcast with a straight face, I can say it now.
Yeah.
It's like, we can
Yeah.
say it. Everybody loves pussy. I mean, like, come on. I mean, pussy gave birth to everybody. Hello.
Oh, she
So
said everybody loves pussy.
everybody loves pussy. Come on now.
That
I
is
mean,
hilarious.
even if you're not heterosexual, you still love it. Pussy gave birth to you,
You
you
mean
know?
even if you are heterosexual,
Yeah, but
right?
I'm saying even if you're whatever your sexuality is, it's not
Yeah.
even a sexual thing. It's
Yeah.
just like breasts. Like titties are for everybody. Like
That's
people like
right.
guys like titties. No, girls like titties too. All the babies
Right.
love
That's
titties.
right. And gay men love titties. I
They
was
love
at a group
titties. So
with
I'm
gay men
saying
one
the
day.
feminine
That's right.
is for
Yeah.
everybody.
That's
That's
right.
what I'm
That's
saying.
right.
And
Yes,
so
it
the
is.
Liberated Pussy podcast, it took me a moment to um release my trigger around what we were
Yeah.
calling ourselves, and we want it to be triggering, we want it to be a little different.
Yeah.
So what I posed today was volunteer slavery, which
Hmm.
again is triggering. It ties into this conversation about what are we creating. We're in, you talk about the Jupiter conjunct Uranus, and we had the
Yeah.
opportunity to make a wish, but we've been given stories that we just go along with. We're just
Hmm.
walking along, and I say we globally, not you and
Yeah.
me,
A
and
collective
not
we.
the
Hmm.
late, yeah, the collective. We walking along, putting our kids in these bullshit schools, having them teach them how to walk along and be a minion,
Hmm.
and be a minion, and be a minion, and then get cancer and die, and then be a minion, be a minion, be a minion. Just a
Right.
cog in the wheel.
Right.
And I want to ask, what part of us agreed to this?
Mm, mm, mm. Well, you do know that somebody famous asked this question many years ago. I mean, he said it many years ago. He said that
Who?
slavery was Kanye
Oh,
West. He
Kanye.
said,
Oh, yeah. And they dragged Kanye. They dragged him. But even though Kanye come out crazy, it's like sometimes those are the aliens who need to come and shift stuff up. Like when I
uh,
listen to Kanye, I see his brilliance. I
yeah,
see why he's Kanye.
yeah,
But is he off on the edge? Yeah, but that's Kanye. But yeah, he did say that. He said
that-
slavery was a choice.
that's what he
That's what
said.
he said. And
That's
I
right.
was like, it was, but they dragged him. They were like, why would we choose that? Blah, blah,
Right.
blah. But the point is, if we create our lives,
That's right. That's
if
right.
we are God, Goddess, and
Right.
we are sitting here asserting that we are, then
Mm-hmm.
we created that.
Yes.
And we know we created that so that we can build our power. I contend we're the most powerful people on the planet for having
Yeah.
had that experience.
Yes.
More powerful than our indigenous ancestors, more
Mm-hmm.
powerful than the people who quote unquote brought us here. We allowed this to happen.
Yes.
That's a deep, that's a deep
Girl,
thing.
that is a deep consideration, and it's a triggering one. So we're
Hmm.
we're in the realm of triggered right now because
Okay.
here's the thing. It's like I remember. So I've always been aware of this stuff as a child of it,
Hmm.
and some of us have always been aware. But I understand that we are born into an environment where we're subject to everything
Hmm.
because you're a baby. You've had three
Right.
children, right?
Yeah.
Your children come into your environment and they are just subject to what you tell them.
So what you do and what you pour in.
That's
Hmm.
right. That's right. And so by the time you get to be 17 and your parents have told you you got to go to work, you got to go see a doctor if you're not feeling good, you
Hmm.
have to go to Jesus, you have if
Hmm.
that's what has been reinforced over and over
Hmm.
and over again, that your power is outside of you,
Hmm.
then you have been conditioned into being a slave.
Yeah, you have.
I mean, so what do we do?
And so
you
that's
know
the piece.
yeah.
We still gave our agreement to that, even as a child. Like, so as a child, you go along because, that's how it's set up. You're in your family, we don't crack out of eggs and walk off and make our life.
Right.
We are cultivated
Mm-hmm.
and loved and that kind of thing. But at some point, your own free will comes online, your thoughts come online where you are like, do I really agree with that? Or is that for me? Or is this not? Or why?
Mm-hmm.
Just it's okay to have those questions and go in the direction of your why, because your why might be different from my why or Monique's why, but you should ask it. You shouldn't just
Yeah.
avoid it.
Yeah.
I was one of those kids who asked why over and over again. Like I was one of those kids that would just annoy people. Be like, well, why? And why that? And why this? And they'd be like, oh, just stop it. And I was just like, why are you getting upset? Like, why is it like that? And why is it like I was the why girl? Why, why,
Yeah.
why?
You sound like
And
my cat. It's like
yes, that was definitely like meow,
yeah.
meow, meow.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom just saying, I don't know. I don't know. And just have faith. And my thing was, well, shouldn't God be able to stand up to an 8-year-old's questions? I mean, that doesn't make sense that we just can't ask a question.
Yes.
Uh, it should be an answer that comes back that feels right in my spirit and makes sense more than just have faith. I understand what faith is for. Like
Mhm.
they even tell you this James Baldwin or Thurman, whatever quote, faith is the evidence of things not seen. What's the rest of that quote?
Faith is the evidence of things not seen, the
And the blah blah
practice.
blah of something
Right.
something something. Hmm.
Oh, girl.
We're gonna have to
I
pull
feel
that
like
out.
I'm failing something,
Okay,
right? Yes, but
we'll pull that out. It's gonna come
yeah.
up.
Mm-hmm.
But this book, Volunteer Slavery, it was a book that I read probably 10 years ago by the sister. Her name is Jill Nelson. She was a freelance writer in New York. And she called herself a quote unquote poor freelance writer in New York. And she got an offer to come to DC and work for the Washington Post magazine in the 80s. And
Mm-hmm.
so she was excited about not being poor, but what was she giving up in order to make this six-figure income in the 80s and
Mm-hmm.
be, the black on this, corporate
Mm-hmm.
newspaper situation at the time. It was a very interesting story. And she goes on to say that the premise of the book was we gave up the slave, quote unquote, for the wage.
Yeah.
She's like, the wage is still the capital for slavery. Like even if you make a lot of money, then they take a lot of time, a lot of your energy, and that kind of thing. And
Mm-hmm.
even if you make a little money, you're just barely making enough to survive. And it's
Mm-hmm.
funny how those who tend to make, like you said, the frequency of wealth, those who make $300,000 a year maybe spend $350,000 a year. So they still doing in the lack consciousness because
Right.
the numbers don't matter. It's about the
Yeah.
frequency. So it was an interesting book. I look for it. It's in my house somewhere, and I look for it online. It is on Amazon. It's just an interesting take from a journalistic, and it was funny, perspective of how it was to give up her freedom to work for this corporate giant and what that was like
Mm.
to be seen and not seen,
Mm.
to be experienced but not really experienced, to say a couple catchphrases and then to make the other feel comfortable so that they can say you belong. Like when she said she lived in Martha's Vineyard for a year, he's like, "Oh, you're one of the bourgeoisie, and we have a home in in the vineyard, that
Hmm.
kind of thing."
Hmm.
It's it's funny because all
Yeah.
that stuff we gave meaning, and by we I mean humans.
Yes.
None of it at the end of the day really means anything. It's just the meaning that we
It's
give
all
it.
just human collateral, and
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't mean anything in the big picture of it.
Mm-mm.
Right?
Mm-mm.
Absolutely. It's a very interesting experience being a human and at this time on the planet because of capitalism
Mhm.
and what the things that we have agreed to, and this thing called money and how we've given it so much power.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like one of the things that I noticed as I became someone in the workforce, I was like, oh, like, you know, if you get a parking ticket, if you don't make a lot of money, a parking ticket can ruin your fucking life. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
Then there's credit. Then you need credit
Mhm.
because you don't have enough money. So you have to then begin to have credit, and it just creates more and more of a prison.
Mhm.
And we have all agreed to this,
Mhm.
and we all get, in various ways, right? And it's just an interesting sort of indoctrination and initiation into the matrix, is what I'll say,
Mhm.
into the matrix. um and there's one thing that's been fascinating to me in this experience, because I've had the opportunity to bury many people close to me, like my mother's died, my father, all my grandparents are dead, is you die and then all your stuff is here. All that stuff you had to have. You know what I mean? Like, I had to have these boots and I had to have those shoes and I had to have this. And then I die and then it's just here.
Mhm.
And it was so important to me, but then it might not be important to the people that I love that are going to get it at all. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, and then what, right? So we really become enslaved to stuff.
To stuff.
To stuff. Like, capitalism is really ultimately about stuff,
Mm.
about money that allows you to get things, and the things keep you imprisoned. The money doesn't allow you to get freedom. It doesn't open your heart. It doesn't, it can if you use it in that way, but if you're using the money to consume, then those things begin to own you, because then you have to just take care of those
Mhm.
things. So it's like, how are we using, what do we use capital for? How are we, and that's the question I've been asking myself. Like, how should I use money that would actually get me more freedom and not less
Mhm. That connects to what you said about breaking off an old part of our consciousness.
freedom?
That's an old part of our consciousness because the current consciousness is just buy, 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 stuff, stuff, stuff,
Hmm.
stuff for stuff's sake. I know I'm purging a lot in my home. I've been in my home for 18 years now.
Hmm.
And many people have come through and stored boxes here. My grown ass kids got stuff stacked up in closets and stuff. And like I said, my grandma passed, and I had all of her stuff. So I'm with you. It's a lot of stuff. But then you look around and be like, damn, like I don't need all this. It's time to get light. I need to get
Right.
light so I could be agile. I got to move. But if I'm heavy laden with all of this stuff, and what is it anyway?
That's right. That's
What is
right.
it
I
anyway?
mean, like, what do you have of your grandmother's that you could part with? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
I'm finally parting with her chair. I think I had her recliner in my family room. I'm parting with that either today or tomorrow.
mhm.
And I'm sitting in my living room now, and on my shrine, I have teddy bears that were on her bed. I'm keeping those because I
Mhm.
like stuffed animals. I've turned a lot of her clothes into quilts. My sister did that. She made her favorite outfits into quilts. So that's nice. So I have enough things, and I have her right here with
Yes,
me. I don't have to keep
yes,
her earthly
yes.
things. It's okay. I have an ottoman that she put her, like an ottoman with the removable top.
Mhm.
She put her shoes in that ottoman, and I just left them in there. They've been in there for 7 years.
Mhm. Mhm.
I liked it because I knew she put them there, and it was
Yeah.
just like one thing that, okay, she put that there. But again, I don't have to keep that.
Yeah.
I can open that ottoman and take those shoes out and, you know, let it let it go because
Mhm.
she is free. She's not
Mhm.
bound by that. She don't have
Mhm.
feet for those shoes anymore.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
I mean, that's an interesting thing. I when my grandmother died, my grandmother bought a burial. She bought 7 burial plots for
Mm,
she and all of her children. And
mm,
when my grandmother died, so we had a place to bury her. My father was buried there. I have an uncle who died. I have two uncles that died. They're also buried there. You know what I mean? And I just like I have always said, when I die, please do not fucking bury me there. Like burn my
mm-hmm,
body or leave it on the side of the road
mm-hmm.
somewhere.
You're
Like
so
leave my
hilarious. My grandma donated her body to science. She didn't want that either. She's like, I
right.
don't want that.
I don't want, and I don't want to give this majesty to science for them to,
Do what they
sell and
do.
make such right, exactly.
Yeah. Henrietta
Like burn
Locks.
me, right? You
Uh-huh.
know what I mean? Like really burn me and feed me to the wolves. You know
Okay.
what I'm
Wolf
saying? Like
food. Y'all hear that?
yes,
Moon Mama want to be wolf food.
whatever. It's just
Mm-hmm.
a let my body decompose and go
Mm-hmm.
away. And so,
Mm-hmm.
um, so, back to our like what's keeping us a slave? What
Yeah.
is and I wonder, do you all feel like slaves? I mean, do you
Mm-hmm.
feel like I know when I think about the things that go on in our system, and I understand that we are paying taxes and they're sending our tax dollars to Israel,
Yeah.
who
We shouldn't even be paying taxes. I'm so mad about taxes. It's so fucking ridiculous. Where my
girl,
reparations, bitch? You know what I mean?
right,
Like, I don't owe y'all shit. I don't
right,
owe y'all shit.
right,
And in fact,
right.
you owe me. But they got this trick going on, you
Right.
know? What's so funny is I know we had to go to the Maryland state office to pay some taxes, and they got black people in there working. They got black people in there working, and all the people in line was melanated in some form, bringing money into the state. I'm like, Maryland, y'all, this is like the greatest trick.
Yes, that's right. That's
You
right.
know?
Um, in Bloom said, I read something today that said the woman is the slave of the slave. Whew,
Oh wow.
wow.
Yeah.
That's hard.
I
That's
read
hard.
something that said the black woman was the mule of America. You know, she didn't have her own self.
That's right.
Nobody's here to be America's mule. Like my grandmother did that, taking
Yes.
care of their children, being a man, making everybody else feel better,
Yes.
but not taking care of herself.
That's right.
That's
Totally
not what we're doing.
sacrificing herself. That's right.
Self-sacrificing,
That's right. Teacher
self-sacrificing. And
Mambo
they did.
said, go ahead.
Go ahead. Teacher Mama said.
Teacher Mambo said, y'all, I'm a teacher. I feel like a whole entire slave.
Oh,
These
oh
kids
wow.
aren't learning some bullshit. I feel like an overseer. Let's
Mm,
just send light to that. Let's
mm,
just send light and freedom
to the teachers.
ooh, to the
We want the
teachers.
real teachers
That's
on the
right.
land, the teaching how
And
to garden and how to take care of your body and how to
yes, and that
heal.
there's a new way of being emerging.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Teacher
Mm-hmm.
Mambo, for being a teacher and being able to see what is corrupt. Thank you for witnessing the corruption. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you for
Yeah.
witnessing corruption. It needs to be witnessed. We
Yeah.
need to see what we no longer want to stand for so that we can become something else. We have to see it first, though.
Right. To create another function, to create another way of being. So that's the purpose of this experience that we're having, is
Yes,
to inform what we want to create, because we're clear on what we don't want. This shit is what we don't want.
right.
How schools are set up is ridiculous.
Yes.
Um, my last son, I have three sons. My last son, I took him out of public school, and he was actually in a homeschool consortium for high school.
Mhm.
Now I know that was non-traditional, but he wasn't a kid of, like the walk of the mill kids that could be in a big container like that. So he was in a small consortium with 8 students in a ladies' garage. And then
Mhm.
he graduated in 2020. So it was perfect because everybody was homeschooled then.
Yes, yes.
And it showed me that we can do education different ways. Like schools are too big.
Yeah.
Schools are too big and people don't know the children. Children and young people need to be connected with heart to heart, spirit to
Yes.
spirit. You need to look them in their eye, know their mamas, know their daddy,
Yes.
like have that care. You need to fucking care to be a teacher.
Yes.
If you
Yes.
don't care, then go work at the DMV. We don't expect them to care. But if you're
Right.
working with the
Go
babies,
work in the tax
oh,
office.
day, hey, don't work for these people collecting money, like being a part of this farce. It's ridiculous.
Oh
It's
my
just
gosh.
fucking ridiculous. So
That
who's
is
going to be a
just
pioneer? Who's going to be the one to come out of your comfort zone and actually walk in a different way? Or we going how long are we going to keep playing this bullshit game? Like what?
we doing it. Me and you. We're the pioneers,
Ashe.
girl. We are
Ashe.
the pioneers.
Ashe to the
That's
pioneers.
right.
We
And
out in
we
the
are having the
woods.
conversations and we are pushing the edges and we
Hmm.
are saying, how do we unite in a different mindset, how do we take our perception back? Because here's the thing, right? This is not really about our actions. This is about
Hmm.
our perception
Yeah.
because we live in a mental reality.
Hmm.
So, if you think something has power over you,
Then it
then it
does.
does.
Yeah.
And
I was
so,
with
yeah,
a shaman last night, and he said that attention is the new capital. It's
that's
about
right.
attention. And
That's right.
so with social media, and it's not even TV so much because folks don't watch TV like they used to.
That's
So they're
right.
coming
That's
at us
right.
in different ways, the YouTubes and the IGs and all these other
Mhm.
TikToks and things like that. But understanding that your attention is priceless.
That's
And
right.
what you put your attention on, you have 100% control over that.
That's right.
Once you're awake to it,
Mm-hmm.
and you can practice that in your meditation, in nature, walking outside, grounding,
Mm-hmm.
and being conscious of what we're really up to.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's right. And it's, I've seen in myself that the programming and the conditioning of believing that the power is outside of me can have my attention addicted to bullshit.
Yeah.
you know, Addicted to the distractions, addicted to the drama, and I've had to free myself. I remember when I used to watch the Housewives of Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
and one day I heard myself saying some bullshit, and I was like, "That's because you watch the Housewives of Atlanta, Billy."
You let them fill your beautiful mind with
I was
bullshit. Cut that
like,
shit off.
right. And
Mm-hmm.
so I had to do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
I had to begin to change the things that I was taking in. Freedom is a daily practice. Like, are you
Yes.
listening to things that encourage you to be free? Are you listening to information that will help you be a new person? One of the things that I've noticed is that things run in cycles, right? And
Mm-hmm.
for me, I noticed I would date the same kind of man in a different body. He had a different name. He looked different, but he was the same motherfucker, literally.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I had to free myself from that cycle. Like, oh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing it again. And once I started freeing myself and going, okay, I'm not gonna do that anymore. I caught
Mm-hmm.
myself in the act. I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
behave. Oh, I see the cycle, and then beginning to eh, remove myself from the cyclical behaviors and
Mm-hmm.
patterns, catching myself in the act. Oh, I'm not asking questions in the way that I need to. I'm not taking responsibility for myself in the way that I need to. I'm feeling powerless again. I need to, right? Like literally catching myself in the act. Oh, this is an ancestral pattern that I'm playing out again, yet again, right? Like catching myself in the act and then course correcting when I can. It's like a
Mm-hmm.
revolving door. It's like, okay, here it goes again. I'm
Mm-hmm.
still stuck in it's revolving. Okay, now here it comes. Okay, I'm gonna change
Mm-hmm.
it. Then you jump out. It's
Yeah.
right.
And that's why you got to put good stuff in so you can
That's
course
right.
correct. Because if you
That's right.
have a diet of garbage, then garbage in, garbage out. So
That's
you think
right.
of the music, you think of the food, you think of the programs, you think of social media. You really think of what you're giving your attention to that maintains a slave
That's
mind. That
right.
is our control. We are totally in control of that.
Right.
That's the volunteer part.
That's
That's what Kanye was talking about.
yes. That's right.
Yes.
And so, thank you for bringing that Kanye because at the time when our ancestors were actually experiencing physically enslaved, with whippings and death and rape and brutalization. It might not look like that now, but that lives in our DNA.
Mm-hmm.
That that experience is passed down through epigenetics.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's passed down through epigenetics, if you understand how this system works, you can go to nature to understand that when, we can use the monarch butterfly, for instance. When the monarch butterfly lays its eggs, dies, then those eggs hatch, become caterpillars, eat until they spin into a cocoon again, and then they hatch as
Eat,
butterflies.
eat, 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 eat.
Right. They hatch as butterflies, and when they become butterflies, they follow the exact same patterns and codes as the butterflies that laid them, even though those butterflies have died
Didn't
and
know.
haven't taught
Yeah.
them anything. They follow the exact patterns.
The code
So
is uploaded.
that's right. So we carry a code inside of us
Mm-hmm.
that will have us inadvertently repeat the patterns of our parents, our grandparents, and our great great parents because we carry the codes. So
Mm-hmm.
until we catch ourselves in the act of repeating the patterns, we will repeat them on default.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like the default is the sleep. The default is just doing what you've been taught. But when you have your own awakening in your soul and you become aware to your power and your free will and your attention,
Yes.
that's when you can start uploading the code that actually is for you, not the
Yes.
code that has been placed for you. Like the
That's
butterflies are doing what's for
that's
them. They don't know
right.
bullshit. They're doing what's
That's
for
right.
them. But we have been our code has been hijacked by
That's right.
design. And
That's right.
so we're uploading the code that is for us, our butterfly code, so that we can fly on the path of what we really were meant to do. But this, like Nikki said last week, all the paths lead home.
That's
We
right.
had to have this experience so that whatever needed to happen in our soul to get us ready for our next step. So I'm not lamenting it. Like, don't be sad. Fret not, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Fret
Mm-hmm.
not. You're
Yes.
right where you're supposed to be. And as even if you're listening to this transmission between Monique and I, you're on a different vibration.
Yeah.
Those who don't resonate with this, it's like we're speaking the alien language, like you
That's
said.
right.
Rock,
Right.
rock, 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 rock. They're like, what are they even talking about?
Right.
But
Yeah.
those who hear us know what we're talking about and
Mm-hmm.
know how important it is to align your attention with nature. Know how important it is to spend time in your thoughts, connecting to who you really are and your
Yes.
power and your magic. Because it's just there, again, just waiting for you, like, okay,
Right.
dormant. Wake
Yes.
up the spirit of the crystal. Wake up the spirit of the fire.
Yes.
Wake up the spirit of the water,
Yes.
the wind, all the elements that live in
Yes.
you. You have the
Yes.
power to command those.
Yes. That is
So,
right. That is right.
mm-hmm.
You have the power to be God in your own life. You
Ashe.
just have to take the steps. You have to be curious.
Mm-hmm.
You have to desire it. And when you
Yes.
do, I know for me, um, hey God Hip 16.
Yeah, that's Layla. That's my belly
Hey
dance partner.
Layla. Hey Layla.
Uh-huh.
When you desire it, your desire for it will call it to you.
It
It will
brings it
send
in.
the signal, right?
You magnetize it.
That's right. When you desire it, the signal goes out and you begin to get the information
Mm.
and you begin to get the wisdom and the people and whatever you need in order to actually access this. Jay
Ashe.
Bo said, you have the power to be God in your own life. That's right.
Yeah.
That's absolutely right.
Because that's literally who you are. So if
That's
you're
right.
not being God in your life, that's the volunteer part. You're giving up your awesome creative power to those who are literally programming you for their benefit. And we don't
That's
got time for that. We ain't got
not no
time for
more.
that.
That's
Nah,
right.
man, that shit is up. That shit is done. We are up. we're awake, and our magic is online,
Hmm.
and we're creating stuff that you haven't seen before.
Yes.
Colors and sounds and frequencies. It's time for that.
Yes. That's
It's
right.
time for that.
That's
So
right.
no more volunteering for this bullshit slavery shit that they set up for us. Fuck that.
Right.
That's so
That's right.
1986.
And condemning the people that are coming to bring the messages of a new world. You
Yeah.
know, like not I don't feel like Kanye needs any protection or anything like that, but he's not the only one. There are many of us out here who are saying there's a new possibility if
Mm-hmm.
we, because the more of us, the more one person standing for freedom is enough. But the more of
Mm-hmm.
us that stand together on it,
Mm-hmm.
we, will tip the scale. Like I
We
was
shift
talking to Nikki this
the
morning.
quantum grid. We
That's right.
literally shift the grid. And
That's
so
right.
Kanye, as crazy and wonderful and amazing as he is, he
Hmm.
has shown that he could change the vibration in his life. Like I watched that Kanye documentary and I saw how he used his attention. I saw how he used his power, and that's why we can even know his name.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
he
right.
used his power in such a way to expand. And
Hmm.
what we're doing with our energy, not we, but the masses are using our power to expand things outside of us that aren't for our
That's right.
benefit, you
Right.
know?
That's right. That's right.
So expansion, as we know, in visionary season, we're still in visionary sun season. It will expand anything. It doesn't have a judgment on good and bad. It's just going to expand. We
Hmm.
want to direct that energy, and
Hmm.
that's what we're saying. Direct
Yes,
the energy to what you desire, but first you got to know what you desire.
that's right.
Direct it.
That's
Yeah,
right. That's
we have
right.
the power for
That's
that.
right.
Expansion is Jupiter. It's here for us.
That's right. And you have to know that you can. You have to believe in yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
it's it's like I know when I first stepped into my journey in a conscious way, like I remember I was doing something and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna pay you $20 an hour." And I remember thinking, "Do I want to spend the rest of my life making 20? Like, what is this?" Like I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"What?" Like I just like it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And then deciding that I want something greater, and it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
about more money. It was
Mm-hmm.
like I don't want to be a slave to money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be working trying to keep up with that just felt, it felt beneath me.
Mm-hmm.
It felt beneath
Mm-hmm.
me. Like, do I
Mm-hmm.
want to be like hustling? Like, I don't want to use my life force for
Yeah.
that, you know? And so me making that decision, I didn't know what that meant. I just
Mm-hmm.
knew that I didn't want to use my life force for that. I knew that that was all. And so then I got clear about what is it that I desire to
Mm-hmm.
experience? What do I love to do? What comes naturally to me? And
Right.
me asking those questions began to lead me to a greater experience of freedom. And I'm still in the
Asha.
process. I'm still
Yeah.
in the process of working it out. Hmm.
Asha. And that's a day, that's really a lifetime walk, really, because we're always becoming.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very beautiful, Mo. That's very beautiful.
Thank you.
$20 an hour. I
Mhm.
think about drudgery of work. Nobody wants that. We want to enjoy our lives.
Yeah.
But this system was created by us, the collective, and we can use our collective energy to create another system that is more beneficial to the joy of life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
Yeah,
we just have to want it.
I want it.
Um, that's right. So anything you want to share before we get out of here?
I shared it. I shared it. I shared the thing about using our attention to what we want to expand and
Mhm.
being conscious of that. If not, it's going to expand somewhere and it's just going to run you. So be conscious of that. If we could spend time really consciously directing this space,
Yes.
this space, this space, like all of
Yes.
those spaces
Yes.
to where we want, we'll watch it happen. We'll watch it unfold. So that's what
Absolutely.
I'm here for. And we want to invite people to our goddess gathering. You know, we're going to Bali in July.
Yes. So
We still
excited.
have two opportunities for two additional goddesses to join us the second
Mhm.
week in Bali, which is the 13th through the 20th. Come on, come on, come on
That's right. We're
in.
ready.
Come
We're
on in.
ready.
We
You're ready to
ready.
get activated. Like
Mhm.
we are doing the real work. And I don't know, I don't know what people even, I don't know that people even have an idea or understanding what the real work is, but
They don't get
we're,
it until they get it.
yes. But we're doing the work to help people wake up into to their power, their magic. And so, if you really are interested in being who you're meant to be on the planet,
Mm-hmm.
come join us at Goddess Gathering. We meet on Thursdays. Adina is an incredible facilitator. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
love the work that we're doing there, and we would love to have you.
You see what Teacher Mambo says? She said, y'all just hype me up. I started writing out a curriculum while sitting here listening. Thank you. You're welcome, Goddess.
That's
That's what
what
it's for.
we are here for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The flame is not diminished by lighting another fire.
That's
It just
right.
gets bigger. So
That's
that's what we
right.
do, Goddess. We love
That's
it. We
right.
love it. We love it. Links are in our bios. Like Monique said, please join us. Oh, she
Yeah.
said, how can you get, okay, we'll give you Bali info. I'll message it to you when we get off of this live. We would love to
Yeah.
have you.
Yeah.
Yes. Come fly with us.
Hmm.
All righty.
All right. Thank
Happy
you.
Wednesday. Happy hump day. Much love,
Yeah.
everybody.
That's right. Mercury goes
Bye.
direct today, y'all. All right.
Yay!
Talk to y'all later.
Our technology will work.
Yes. Talk to
Okay.
you soon. I love
Mm-hmm.
you.
Love
Bye
you
bye.
too. Bye.